Hey bitches. It's a live stream and shit for sure. I mean, this stream it's not about Elevator Filmer 21 or certainly Roblox Siren Filmer 21. No, it's completely unrelated. In fact, what's better than talking about someone on YouTube who does really questionable things, which may have resulted in his channel in two of his channels getting terminated. Like, I'm not gonna tell the name of that person because can't you fucking see? I literally posted lots of community posts regarding that. And talking about that would be a fucking waste of time. So, this stream is about Roblox development in general. Of course, I'm thinking of like as you can see, this is Roblox Studio, which is the main focus of this live stream and shit. As you can see, those lifts here, apart from those ones, I haven't done them yet. Actually released, those are the ones I haven't even considered releasing because they're not in a satisfying date. I might try releasing those models. And maybe those will be released under the condition that the 8-story building would be uncopy locked. This one, I don't know if I'm gonna release it, but it's at its complete-ish state. Not really complete, but I don't care. Now this is what's incomplete. As you can see, the pack is almost done apart from this one. The biggest problem is mainly the orientation part. It's like imprecise part rotation, but the bottom position is arguably precise. In fact, the real concern has to do with forelifts. Yes, forelifts, which apparently can be easily solved. So what about the other technique models like the like I can't really tell you the name, but what about the technique models like Sea Breeze, like Technic Gen 4 Sea Breeze, Technic Impulse, like you know, those lifts. Well, those lifts won't be retrofitted because I believe they are derivative works by someone else, and as a result, they don't really accurately represent the technique quality. It's more of a fan model. Like things like that, they aren't really worth retrofitting. Though if they are retrofitted, the Technic brand might be removed, or the unofficial symbolism would be included to differentiate it from an official product to a derivative project. But to be fair, the retrofit of those lifts are actually considered the the derivative works. Like, I just can't really pronounce it correctly at this point. Like, those lifts won't be retrofitted at all for now. But to be fair, those models are of low quality and they're not really worth retrofitting. Another thing I want to retrofit are those elevators here. You got the... It's like, those are not official Technic Gen 5 models. You get ones like with the Dewhurst buttons and travel and the Gen 4/5 buttons that are decal based with strange and abstract concepts. Like the lanterns are kind of fucked up, not gonna lie. It's like, and then you get the thick fin lifts. That looks like they just took the DD lift and slapped a logo of that. Like, look, this is just a modification of a certain lift, and you've got the ones with the buttons already included. Yay. With not really good positioning. And this is a DD one, which is probably the same as the one cab, except that they placed this full height DD panel and a Cornet themed version of it, which still has the Technic brand. And then you get the weird lifts like this one, which is just Travelonic, except that it's kinda cursed. Like, it's like the door sensor is the call button. You got this like the sequel of that one lift. And that it's kinda interesting as it's technically the only single door Technic lift Fit has made. And this one is actually nostalgic for me because of those buttons and the Fire Recall song, which is just a Sparta remix, except that it's fire alarms. This one is a quote-unquote swing door lift, except that it's not really a swing door lift because this door is just like a fade in and fade out ones, which doesn't even act like a real swing door. It acts like a mere imitation of it. Then you got this one, which I also remember fondly. It's the Technic Gen Space with Dewhurst coal buttons again. Of course, the luxury of A2 has a Cornet Kisses 520 buttons as the call station for some reason. However, when the game loads, they were loaded as the Technic buttons until you click them. And there's variants of that lift, which includes a MR version, an MRL version, and a glass version. It's like, the interesting thing is that the cab design is like this. However, I think the execution might be poor. Like, I don't see why you need to include those buttons publicly. But to be fair, the original Travelonic 10 model, as you can see here to be exact, has the service buttons exposed. However, for the Polar V2 version I'm doing, they are actually covered. Like, if you look, they actually are covered. And I had to make a modification of it so that you can, like, instead of this one changing transparency, it's like I had to actually make it change the panel size so that, well, you can click on the Service UI buttons. Polar V2 lacks drag detectors of buttons, and to be fair, Polar V2 is not really that updated. And I'm so fucking tired. Before we do the retrofit on stream, I like to tell you how it works. I try to replicate the Gen 5 features as close as it to the original, bearing the door animation. And if you think that this is the same one as the Fender Human 4 Polar V2 Polar retrofit back in 2018, then you're completely wrong. In fact, it's actually a far improved version. As you can see, the buttons are faithfully recreated in 3D. The original one, as you can see, it looks like this. The buttons are actually decals and are flat. This one, however, has actual physical buttons. This one is the original, and this one is the Polar V2 retrofit. And this is a swing door version. They actually do have a working alarm, it's just the sound of the sound effects don't really work. Like, if you hear it, it means that it's working.
We're sorry, the number is not in service at this time.
And this one is the interesting part, because instead of retrofitting those two separately, I decided to retrofit only one of them, and because I think the only difference for those two lifts is that they have different motor sounds. So I tried to put both motor sounds into this singular motor, and it's more of a toggle. Like, you can toggle to have actual hydraulic noises, or you can just move back to the plain traction noises. This is a technical, which I used to like this design. Like, to be fair, it's actually a nice design.
We're sorry, the number you have dialed is not in service at this time.
Some of the indicators which, due to Roblox updates that are out of our control, not all of the features are really accurate. Like, look, it used to be aerial. It's like this instead of this. Like, Arena one looks weird, and it doesn't really look very aerial. And this is the interesting one, and kind of the complicated one. Those are trafilonic tags. I did the Polar V2 version of it. Even has the accurate sound effects. Like, it does sound the same, it just works quite differently.
We're sorry, the number you have dialed is not in service at this time.
So about this really special feature, like, look, you can't really press them because the cabinet value is disabled, but when you enable this one by unlocking the cabinet, you can do all sorts of things like this one. Of course, things like stop, like the slow close feature, which I decided to replace with a more appropriate hold cancel. The door hold one is actually quite a little bit problematic because there's no official door hold API option, so I just made it run a loop of holding a door. This one is like, it's used when the lift is stuck. It's like do not do it when the lift doors are open. It may break the lift and it will do funny things like this. Oh wait. Unlike the original, it remembers the open and closed positions. Like, it just fucking knows. But when you go here and you do something like this, and then you run the reset script, then you do this, the doors even open further than it should, which the original has, and that it even moves when the doors are completely open. Of course, I did retrofit a small version of it, aka the for old people stuff. If you haven't realized, the Travelonic and this one are actually used as bases for New Genesis 5. So does this one. However, New Genesis 5 uses a Travelonic based design more than the Gen 5 aesthetics. As Gen 5s usually are not like this. You know, the most impressive part is that that this is one of the hardest parts. In fact, it's a fucking DD. Of course, flow is locked from there, and which it, unlike the original, it accepts all key cards. It doesn't care about stuff like that. So it's better if we just test it from the top floor. Unsurprisingly, it's also locked. So, I mean, we could just do a test here stuff. Like, if we just move all the way here and click this fucking button. And those people on, basically I try to replicate it as similar to the office building, the 10 floors one. It's not a 1-1 accurate replication, it's more of a near replication. It's like, it's only the technical lifts that are authentic. The rest lifts, however, are not truly authentic. It's just that I try to make it as close to the original. Like, there aren't really that great reference stuff, like... It'll pick stuff like car Aleph. So the only original solution is to... And this is the ones I did. This is the one that, like, I did lift C first, then I did lift D. It's like both lifts were retrofitted separately. And you know, the funny thing is, this thing fucking works. Of course, I'm so fucking tired. So maybe this will be a short stream. Of course, the DD system was technically released for this one. It's not really a perfect one, it's just a close enough one. There's this one which and while this one is technically a Gen 5 lift, and possibly the first Gen 5 lift, it's still released as part of the Gen 4 retrofit pack, the Gen 4 V2 retrofit pack, because of how it looks like. So of course, technically those things here would not really be included technically, but considering what it actually is, it's still included. The reason why a basement button is not really included is because the original didn't have them. It's like you can have from floor 0 to floor 9 quintillion or whatever math huge is supposed to be. I know people in the Europe or Central, I mean people are mainly sleeping during this stream. Like, it's not really doing worse. No one is watching at this point, so... And this one is also a DD, which I did show before, but when you like do it here, the buttons that does not serve the floors disappear. What I like about those ones is that how I made it, like, it's more of a modification of the Polo V2 Smart DD system default panel, except that I made it work more like the original Gen 5 DD rather than Polo V2's own DD. Like Polo V2's DD, it's like this. This is how Polo V2's DD is. It uses a Gen 5 DD panel, but it works differently than the original. And I did a modification in which you can like select basements, the ground floor. You can't really select -0 because it doesn't exist. Anyways, this is the most impressive thing. It's a double deck. No, it's actually this one. The thing is that bottom and the top floors are quite different. It's like this is all scripting. In fact, Polyvito has its own Cobalt Plus sensor thing, which, if included, the platform stops acting as the sensor part. It's like, how did I understand all of this? Well, it's easy. I looked at the Polyvito source code. As you can see, we have a world floor thing, which is basically the the Polyvito equivalent to sensor. In fact, if you haven't realized, the older Gen 5 models actually do have a DOS sensor. It's just that the Travelonic models lack those sensors. But it's late night. I don't know if I would have the energy to do it. Ah, wait, I forgot to test this one to see if any viewers who are gonna watch after the stream has ended. Like, this is the button selection ones. Like this one, it's like the authentic technique experience. It's technically an MR lift because it has a motorhome. Isn't that obvious? The thing is, people would try to like basically there's nothing happening at this moment. Like, there's some YouTube drama involving certain people and me, of course. But the problem is I'm so fucking sleepy. Fuck. So, the Polyvito mark, like, let's see how the elevator works. It's like when you go like this, it's like you got buttons, like floor buttons, hidden behind a cabinet. And alarm, and you can't do. Oh, this lift would be ignored by the DD system if you press it. So when you press all of the no DD buttons in those lifts, You can't really use it anymore. I did demonstrate it in the new Genesis 5 game. Like the polar beta models would be stuff like that. No fire mod sound effects out there. It's just that the Travlonic models do have fire stuff. God damn it, I'm so fucking tired. So the first thing is to like do something. See, and there's no flow locking, so we could just no, we could just that's better. Like first we're gonna do the simple thing. Like it isn't really that simple. There's less wheels to work on, but there's 4 lifts. Like, we're gonna do the hard part. Like, Studio usually has an issue like with the new Explorer, which like the selection gets stuck and that you're forced to quit, leave the studio and rejoin it. In fact, I actually did release a bit as how it behaves. It's like you can't really unselect it until you close your studio stuff. There's 21 panels. Like, we could just remove the lanterns out there and replace it with far better ones. Like this one, for example, which arguably is the same as that one. The way the lanterns work is that it depends on the panel. Like, if you insert any other panel, the lantern won't light up. That's how it is. Of course, because it's spoiler feature and it has built-in welding, those seats are not really needed at all. It's like you could remove them and not have to suffer from any consequences. I fear that they travel at this speed, which means that let's just name it with simplistic terms. Just so the lowest common denominator would understand that easily. It's like people are complaining about stupid things like the political situation, like how a certain political ideology managed to fall for something so fucking fake. Like, you know, an AI generated woman, which somehow got popular because of that. Make America horrible again, Colt. Oh. And the sad irony is that they don't really give a flying fuck about that. It's like a not glass version of this one's. I wonder if you're still awake, if you're living in Kuwait and you're still watching this. It's better if you go to sleep. Tomorrow's Friday. But I know tomorrow's Friday and heaven for Kuwait it's like a weekend. And you may say that you may have not worked there, but I don't know if that applies to everyone. Some have work assigned while others don't. You know, I hear that in Kuwait there's a addiction to matcha. And to be fair, matcha is actually a really great beverage, in my opinion. It's like I prefer it more than pistachio. Alright, I think I didn't do it well. It's like I need to do this. And then the problem will be fixed. Remove this one and you get a far better one that involves this. Well, I don't think I should be worried about that. But I don't know why it's included. But I'm tired. So what can I do about it? I know, make a lift on Roblox. Anyways, Polo Vito allows you to have platform and level without the bisque part. But for the misc part we could just remove this, and as a result we could just The buttons, however, are not done yet, which can be easily resolved. We are gonna need two control, one for the panel and one for the non-panel one, like the cabinet one. This is for the proper control. And for the surface one, we could just make them serve in the military complex. But that's for stupid people who are miserable losers who would benefit over people suffering. And this one is kind of complicated, which like the strange part is that the scaling is wonky at first. It's like this one is 0.2 and it's treated as the scaling is actually fine. It's just the perspective that can be confusing. Oh my god. It could have been the perspective after all. like if you just make it a flat 90, you'll notice that you won't see any fucking changes. Or maybe I'm just dumb. Like, you can just copy this, then paste this. That way it looks more precise. And that you can just set it up there and nothing will stop you. Well, except the police when you commit a crime. Okay, that one isn't funny. I've been convinced that this is bad for my health. Like, you can have things like this, and you won't really get in legal trouble because they stopped caring about it. It's like what they care about is how you're willing to spend the money. Like about 3D animation, it's not really true 3D animation, it's kind of like a shitty form of let's say stop motion on steroids. It's like I am not really able to understand because it takes a long time for me to read because I'm just too busy doing studios shit. For example, this fucking one. Like we could just paste it there, which I don't think we are able to do that. Oh my god. Okay, we did manage to put it. You know, this is like the Travelogue 10 is actually my favorite Gen 5 design. It's like I prefer it over those ones. Okay, this one has a more better indicator. So we could just copy this one here and replicate the gimmicks used for this one. It did work, the indicator, but it means that the lift is missing parts. Like we could just select this one and then turn it into a level. It's nearly 1 AM and I'm feeling a little bit tired. Holy fuck! Or maybe it's because it's missing the crucial parts. I don't think it makes sense that it can be able to work on invisible parts. As I think in real life invisibility isn't really possible. Because if it's invisible, then light would pass through it as if it's just air. Which also means that you would be also fucking blind if you're invisible. It's like when you're invisible, light would pass towards you, which makes you also blind too. It's like you completely lost your vision. But what does it have to do with making Roblox lifts, you may ask? Well, the correct answer is none. None of that has to do with that. In fact, it's more appropriate to say that it does have something to do with not being on topic. Let's see if it would skip floors. Oh my god, it's still skipping floors as if it doesn't really fucking exist. I think I might have broken the entire lift. let's do this one simple hack that would not really work. Still no recognition, as if the floor doesn't fucking exist. Like, it knows how to stop for this one, but not for this. But why is it causing that, you may ask? Simple! It's the level part. The level part does not exist, which is why the lift doesn't really want to work. So without the level part, it cannot detect flaws. So of course, can't really select those two unless you open the cabinet. This one is kind of the tiring part. You got lime green, bright red, and dark stone gray. Yep, matches. Lanterium. Sounded cool in my head. Oh my fucking god. I think I did a mistake. Or maybe I just could do this. Same mistake. Forgot that? Ah, it's gotten silent, but what do you expect? Anyways, I did play the latest update for Pump It Up Boys today, which added 3 fucking songs. Might just save it to file just in case. Because what if I lose progress because of some fucking shitty code? How boring.